guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katelyn, and today we are doing another really fun Monster Mash. And before we jump into that, I wanted to let you guys know that today's video is actually sponsored by Skillshare. So a lot of you probably have already heard about Skillshare, but for those of you who don't know, Skillshare is an all-in-one learning platform that has multiple different amounts of classes that range from like art to programming to writing to editing. There's so many things on the platform. It's a great website to help boost your personal development in any subject that you want to learn. Some of the classes can lead to career development and helping you learn skills to get into the career you would like, or even just start and develop a new hobby. So today's video is actually a learn along, which I did recently live over on Twitch, and it's a new partnership that I'm doing with Skillshare. What I'm going to be doing live on Twitch throughout this next month is doing kind of like a learn draw along where I'm going to be broadcasting different classes from Skillshare and drawing along with the different prompts or the instructions that the teachers have from those classes. Today's video, we followed along with Ira Marcks' class on drawing sea monsters, and it was such a blast. So if you would like to participate in this learn along, draw along, I would love to see what your drawings are over on my Discord. I have a little channel set up where you can post your sea monsters and we can all like chat and share them together. And I'm gonna be choosing one random winner to get a prize pack of some of my artwork to be sent to them by the end of November. So if you'd like to participate in this learn along and draw a sea monster, I have a 1-month risk-free trial that you can check out the class on Skillshare. I'll have my link right here to sign up, as well as down in the description below, and I'll have a link to his class so you can sign up, watch the class, create your monster, and participate in this month's challenge. I'm extending it a little bit through December since this video is coming out a little bit later than I anticipated, so all entries must be in by December 3rd for this Drawing Your Sea Monster challenge. Anyway, let's jump into my sea monster and I'll show you guys kind of what I learned from his class, and we'll break it down and make a monster together. So you guys know I love monsters. I've been doing creature and monster design for years here on YouTube, and you might be thinking like, why am I taking a Skillshare class? Well, at least for me, I think as an artist, you're always learning. You're never gonna stop learning, and sometimes it's also good to have some of your past skills kind of reestablished in your brain. So outside of just learning those base skills, I think Ira Marcks had a really fun way to create and kind of mold your creature from some different prompts you had to think about. So here at the beginning of the class, he talked about how to make your creatures memorable. I loved his breakdown of going through 3 different things that you have to think about while making your monster: their personality, their abilities, and their descriptors. So I went through and I followed his prompt list to kind of brainstorm and think about my monster. With Ira Marcks' breakdown of sea monsters, he also mentioned how back in the day they would put monsters on maps to signify maybe a natural occurrence, maybe something unexplored, or some type of social commentary of that time. So I went along that route with the kind of social commentary idea, and I thought about the drought that's happening here in Arizona and the states along the Colorado River. The Colorado River is kind of being sucked dry. It's not having the chance to produce enough water with how much we're taking out. And then with global warming, we're just not getting as much rain here in Arizona and in the states along the Colorado River. So that was kind of my first step, was thinking about what is this monster? So for me, it's a creature that lives in the Colorado River and is directly related to our drought circumstances. So for his first prompts with personality, for me, I put protective because we're very protective of our freshwater source and we're trying to find a way to conserve and keep the Colorado River alive. Also, this creature I don't view as evil. I don't think he would be like an evil creature at all, so that was something I wanted to keep in mind. And I could see it as one main monster, like kind of like how the Loch Ness monster is one monster, there's not multiples of them. This one I could see as one monster, and a large one at that matter of fact, which I'll talk about later. The next prompts were its abilities. So first of all, I thought about making it an amphibious monster. With the river kind of drying up, I was thinking this creature would need to be able to go both in water and on land to survive, maybe both to like hunt and survive just because of our fluctuating amount of water in that river. It would also be a fast swimmer. I decided not to do a fast runner. It's going to be more like a mud skipper where it can walk on land, but it's not super speedy. This one I see also more as a predator species. It's not like a prey species, so it would eat smaller fish, maybe some of the plant life or algae that lives in the river as well. So maybe something more along an omnivore where it does prey on smaller creatures like fish and maybe smaller amphibians, but it also can live off of like algae and other plant life that lives in the river. So originally I thought about making it sturdy and cactus-like for water so it can like almost absorb and keep water. I ended up kind of omitting this ability. I think it would still be very sturdy and strong, and instead I basically switched out it being able to live outside of water. So it can just kind of hold on to water and exist without having to stay in water. Like it stays very well hydrated skin-wise. And then yeah, it would live in mud. So it can live in the mud, in the water, and be in and out of both. And then finally for descriptors, I was trying to brainstorm some of the animals that live along the Colorado River. So we did a little bit of Google searching to find the exact creatures that live in the water or along the banks. So first of all, I brainstormed the Gila monster or the gator tail mudslider. And then I also thought of maybe like a fish we could incorporate, which I thought of a razorback or a rainbow trout. And then finally, I wanted an additional monster to kind of be a smaller percentage to kind of tie in some extra attributes. So I thought of like maybe a horned lizard or a king snake. So with that, I collected some references and I followed Ira's breakdown of basically how you should segment this monster. So I decided to do 60% Gila monster, 30% of the razorback, and then about 10% would go to the horned lizard and the king snake. And these percentages can kind of switch around, but it's just more of like a general idea of where I wanted it to sit with how much of this creature would reflect these base animals. After that, I followed the silhouette thumbnailing that he suggested, and I actually don't do this very often with my creatures. I know silhouettes are very important for concept art, just so you can like see a character and know what they are without having all their details. Like if you got a silhouette of Pikachu, you would know exactly that that was Pikachu. So this was a pretty fun exercise to try to figure out what shape I wanted my creature to be. So the first one I did was much more like fish heavy, and it was a like stouter but long fish. Like instead of having kind of a longer neck, it was just close to the body like a fish head is. And then I did a very rough like Gila monster base, but I wasn't really digging it. And then finally I took the fish body and elongated the neck as if it was like kind of like a Loch Ness monster type of situation. And I just really liked the very base fish body. I thought that would look really cool. So then from there, I developed a more finalized sketch where I added a lot more detailing, tried to pull as many parts from all the creatures as I could, and tried to make a unified monster design. I added a lot more like horns and spikes from the horned lizard throughout the body, and I think this guy looks pretty cool. I can imagine this being maybe the size of, I don't know, a small boat, just big enough that it could swim through the river, but not too big that it would get stuck and not be able to swim through the depths of water that are along the Colorado River. So with the sketch finished, it was time to jump in and do my line art in color. And that's it. This is my finalized sea monster. Thank you guys so much for following along, and I had a blast creating this monster. And again, thank you Skillshare for partnering with me for this creation and for multiple other draw and learn alongs in the future. So if you'd like to participate in this month's draw learn along for sea monsters, make sure to check out my link, sign up for a free trial of Skillshare, and create your own sea monster. Make sure to post it over on the Discord before December 3rd, and I will be announcing the winners the week after. And if you would like to participate live in the next draw learn along, make sure to go follow me over on twitch.tv/KMcCaigue, and I'll make an announcement when we're going to be having the next one. But either way, thank you guys again so much for stopping by and checking out this video. And if you aren't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join our nerdy community of monster and creature enthusiasts. And please, if you have a moment, to sign up for Skillshare down in the link below. It really helps me out, guys, and I'm just really excited to work with them as a sponsor, so I'd really appreciate your support. But anyway, thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.